Staying with the idea of tax cuts, where are they? President Trump met with the senior tax policy lawmakers in the Senate and the House yesterday. Joining us now, Scott Hodge. He is Tax Foundation President. You, sir, are a tax guy. How does it make you feel that President Trump meets with senior tax policy lawmakers yesterday, and then he comes out of the White House and all he talks about is NAFTA and trade?
Oh, I know, Stuart. I think you and I agree that tax cuts ought to be #1 on the economic agenda, but unfortunately it looks like it's going to take a back seat to Obamacare. You know, you would think that Washington can multitask. They could do both Obamacare reform and tax cuts at the same time, but they've set up the budget rules in such a way as to do one and then the other, and we can't do both at the same time.
You can't do tax reform simultaneously to dropping and reforming Obamacare. Obamacare is too complex. It requires all kinds of compromises and legislation through Congress. It's going to take a long, long time. What's your outlook for the timing of the tax cut package?
I think we're probably likely to see something come out of the House of Representatives by probably mid-summer, and then, of course, it'll bog down in the Senate, and with a little bit of luck, they can get something done by Thanksgiving at the best.
Thanksgiving at the best? That's not what this market wants to hear. This must be disappointing to you.
Absolutely. I think it should be done today. The economy shouldn't have to wait for tax reform. We're losing competitiveness to the rest of the world. We have the highest corporate tax rates in the industrialized world. I think everyone understands that. U.S. companies are uncompetitive in this global market, and I think that the surefire way of reviving the economy is tax reform, and it should be done now, not in Thanksgiving.
Scott, I blame the Republicans. I think they're divided on what kind of tax cuts we should get and what kind of deductions should go away. I'm blaming Republicans. How about you?
Well, they hold the keys to this, and obviously I think that Paul Ryan and Kevin Brady in the House have a pretty good plan that seems to be the architecture of what will eventually come out of the process. But the Senate has its own ideas, and obviously Donald Trump has his. They all have to come together and meet, and that's going to be a big challenge.
Now, what deductions do you think they're going to do away with? I hear there may be some limitation of the mortgage interest deduction, stuff like that. What do you hear?
Well, you have to do some of that in order to lower rates, and especially if you don't want to blow a hole in the budget. So I think the biggest thing on the table is probably the state and local tax deduction, and that will probably go. You're going to hear a lot of squawking out of New York and California, but everyone will get a lower rate as a result of that. You have to do things like that in order to simplify the tax system and lower rates. You have to have a little pain with some of the sugar.
Okay. Scott, look, thank you very much for joining us. Please keep pressing for I don't want to hear Thanksgiving at the earliest for a tax package. No. It's not me. This is growth in America's economy. You can't get growth in the economy unless you've got some serious tax cuts. Scott, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.